Evening, everybody. 4 rounds to go, 20 league points on offer. So the focus narrowed and the run-in crystal clear. Bath, as we know, the runaway leaders, but a likely 5-strong pack, all chasing 3 other playoff places. And of course, these two finding form at just the right moment. This will be tense tonight. It'll be edgy and it'll be very, very physical. And to that end, Sale making just one change to their lineup from last week. Johnny Hill knocked out against Quins. He's recovering, so Hiron Andrews comes in to partner Ben Bamba at lock. Still no Ben Curry, who's run into a strange injury involving stitches from a hamstring operation from a couple of years ago. Brother Tom is fit, as is fellow Lions contender Luke Cowan-Dickey. That matchup with Jamie George, very tasty tonight. A masterclass from George Ford last weekend at the Stoop. He's at 10. The midfield unchanged. Tom Roebuck making his 100th appearance for the Sharks. And keep a lookout for Dan Dupree, back from a calf injury and on the bench. An all-new front row for Saracens this weekend. The loss of Marco Riccioni keenly felt at tight head. Alec Clary fills that void. And Hugh Tizard is included at lock, with last week's man of the match, Nick Ezekwe, switching to blindside flanker. The back line a little more settled. Van Sale and Burke at 9 and 10. The centre pairing remain. No Lazowski or Sinti, remember, through injury. Angus Hall included on the wing for Tobias Elliott. And so much class on that 6-2 split bench. Theo's Dan and McFarland, Andy Onyama Christie, Juan Martin Gonzalez, Alex Good. They've got some firepower there. Ben.
Well, sometimes doing these head-to-heads is really difficult. But Tom Curry's playing against Ben Earl, and it's the last game before the Lions is announced. So should we just go with that?
What about the hookers? What about the second rows?
Well, you're right, but no, I think these two going head-to-head, huge excitement.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same in the backs. There's so many good matchups. I think that actually you talk about Saracens, they've lost a lot of guys to injury, so Tompkins is going to have to lead. But also the guy at the back for them, I think Daly has been fantastic in the last few weeks. He's a real outside chance for the Lions, and opposite him is Carpenter, who's that unsung hero for Sale. More metres than anyone else, more defenders beaten. The guy's class, he just needs a bit more recognition.
Awful lot of subplots this evening. And a little glimpse at Saracens, who've been a little bit Jekyll and Hyde this season, but have just quietly begun to look like their old selves in the last few weeks. It won't have escaped the Sale Sharks, that's for sure. It is ominous for everybody in the league. Very good, especially in the second half against Gloucester. And Steely in that win at Welford Road as well. Remarkably, as we see a little shot of Mark McCall there, in all his time at the helm, he's never failed to steer his men to the playoffs, except in that year of relegation, thanks to the salary cap indiscretions and their season in the Championship. It's an extraordinary record, and it's the kind of know-how that's priceless, Ben, at times like these, understanding how to navigate these awkward last few rounds.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and having so many players with huge experience on the field in amongst the new crop that's coming through, just a huge positive. And that man right to the fore, Jamie George, another that's been there, done everything, and it's all about peaking in this competition at the right point, right at the end.
Yeah, this is it. You don't have to be brilliant throughout the 8-9 months or so. You just need to get the timing right. And this evening, Sale led out by Tom Roebuck, having something of a breakout season, now an established England international, of course, the league's joint top try scorer, and celebrating 100 appearances for the Sale Sharks this evening. And the home side pushing hard for the end of season playoff party. Now 3 Premiership wins on the bounce, and with the punching power to frighten anybody. They've reached the playoffs in 3 of the last 4 seasons. They're hungry for more. Finalists, remember, a couple of years back. They feel it's their time. And the way they've been playing, they're looking like serious contenders. Christoph Ridley, our referee this evening. And just to mention, Alex Sanderson leaning into his creativity, his storytelling, his war film knowledge this week by way of motivation. He's had the squad in front of the Gerard Butler movie 300, the inspiration at Carrington in the last few days. The retelling of the story of the Battle of Thermopylae, Austin, which, as you'll know, featured
completely factual.
Featured the Persians and the Spartans was the answer I'm looking for. Yeah.
And it actually happened on that cliff.
A scrap to the death, we understand. Just an idea as to quite what Sale Sharks are expecting, what we can all expect this evening. Very, very physical, and the first contact is exactly that. Van Sale at the base. As Hugh Tizard driven back in the tackle already. These collisions are pretty thunderous.
Saracens use.
Carey providing a little bit of extra protection. Van Sale gets it away from under the nose of Hiron Andrews, who wasn't far away. Here's Carpenter. As Austin says, he's been exceptional in the last few weeks, particularly. Bevan Rhodes similarly, chasing a likely England tour place. That's gone almost straight up in the air from Gus Waugh. Turns it into a decent kick, though, and Ford is away, exploiting a small hole. Maasi White drives into the 22. Poku for jaw, a little loose, gathered in by Dupree. Ford again, little dummy, shoved the ball forward through, Reed on his shoulder, brilliant from Sale. Maasi White into the corner. And if that doesn't serve notice
it's all kicked off
to Saracens and everybody else, I'm not sure what will. Mass pile up.
I'll tell you what, that's as tasty a little scuffle as we've seen for a long time. Players still pumped up beginning of the game, and it means a lot. Sale have started hyper aggressively in terms of their tackling, their ball carrying. Just the emotions boil over. But brilliant tap back from Roebuck.
If anything needs to be looked at, the TMO will tell me. What was it you wanted to
How's
say?
that for Roebuck then? Bogo Fajour in the right place, long pass. Ford makes a half break. Saracens defence in a bit of turmoil there. Big dog leg, and there Itoje goes forward. He actually shoulder checks Curry, which may well be what the little kickoff's about. Maybe Curry comes and has a word with him.
Stu, can you just
but just that takeout of Curry, that was actually a deliberate shoulder check on Curry. And the referee's just asking the question.
He'd watched the video from last week, hadn't he? From the try. It's exactly what happened last week.
Stuart Terridge is our TMO tonight.
Clear for you? Stu, have you got comms with me?
Christoph, we're just trying to find some stuff, mate. Bear with us.
Thank you.
Just go to check exactly what sparked it all.
So we've got that hit off the ball, Christoph, there.
So what is the hit
on
off the
Curry.
ball?
Curry probably just comes and celebrates the try, does he?
Stu, I need you to be specific. Just time off for a second, please.
It's a little push.
So there you go. Curry got hit, and then he comes and pushes him in the back. Yep.
Okay. Because of the collision you made on Curry, that's why he reacted. You can't do that.
Well,
we're going to kick off as normal. Restart, normal restart.
Okay, so no repercussions. And
it's a great kick.
Sale have begun exactly as they intended. Here's Curry, and he's trying to single out Itoje running into the middle of his stomach as they approach halfway. Back to Ford, space in the backfield. Shegan backtracking. And then taking on those defenders. Very well met in blue by Van Rijn.
Hit him! Hit him! Fuck him off! Hit him!
Apologies for the language, but I think you'll get a general idea as to the kind of aggression required out there at the moment.
It's nothing better than two England teammates starting a fight 3 minutes into a game. 77 to go.
Again, pressure on Sale, so he doesn't get the sort of kick he would have wanted there. No distance.
On 10, all onside.
Good clean up from Itoje. And Saracens now need to find a way just to get some breathing space out of their own 22.
Bit more length on the kick from Sale. Once again, diffused nicely by Carpenter. Here's Cowan-Dickey, all eyes on that contest at hooker between himself and Jamie George.
Hold in front, lads, hold in front.
And sends it high. Daly, eyes up. Sets off into the midfield, being tracked here by the Sale defenders, but Bernal pops it away to Willis. Tackle made by Opoku Fujor. The game he had last week at the Stoop. Trucked up by Clary. They've got some issues at tight head, Saracens, with Riccioni and Balmain out of commission. Burke with the kick. Ford to Carpenter. 3 men around him. Flings it out basketball style to Reed. Kick is blocked by Sale. Falls for War. Reed on the gather again. Ford quickly in at 9. They got big numbers here if they can work it. Dupria sets off with Marcy White to his right. Cowan-Dickey to his left. And the whistle is blown by Christoph Ridley.
Wasn't it? They just need a little bit more pace in that 13 channel. They're really stretching them. Ford's controlling it. Here's that last play. A little pick-up from Reed off the floor. Nice pass out the back again. Throws the miss. Now it's on. Give it early. Look at the backs. All backing off. They're on the heels. No one's moving forward. You've got to distribute the ball wide there. But what was nice was the try, wasn't it? This guy again. We saw it last week. Curry, that inside ball against Quins. He runs exactly the same play. Look, Curry's on his shoulder inside. All he's going to do is isolate Itoje and split the 2 defenders. It does exactly that. Itoje overreads it. That's a penalty either way. But then it's just a shoulder ball to Reed through the hands. Ford is putting forward a case to be sat on a plate.
Three more for Sale.
This is what we mean by a set-up play. So you do something the week before and then you know everybody's watched it. Here's the try from last week. Look, exactly the same. Steps back up to the inside. He's got Curry running that line, but this time he gives it. But on the occasion, Itoje overreads it. He sees his eyes, steps away from him, goes through himself. It's brilliant play from the fly-off.
Very, very classy, isn't he? And finding some rare form at the back end of this season. Always been so good at manipulating defences. And I guess in those latter Eddie Jones years when England became so kick-heavy, he rather lost his mojo to some degree with the attacking ball.
I think this period of phases is crucial now for Saracens. Need to get that aggression in defence, keep Sale as tied down in their own half for a bit, just to get some foothold in the game.
It's a penalty,
That's a penalty.
Yeah, that's a clear penalty. It came off Hall. It was taken in by Clary, who didn't think twice about gathering it. Under the cosh here, Sarries, and make no mistake.
It's just been the
now,
power and the force of Sale's start, hasn't it? Every hit they've made resonates around the ground, and they've been ruthless and quick as soon as they have ball in hand. George Ford at the heart of everything, even stepping in at scrum half to keep the speed of play.
He's gone hard at that corner flag. It's taken his side inside the 22.
Yes, on you, thank you.
Brilliant against Quins a week ago. And with all that experience of the international test scene and all those finals, of course, in premierships with the Tigers as well.
Ezekwe and Itoje have been an absolute menace on opposition lineouts. Just working together, can they give their team a huge momentum shift? Nearly gets there.
Andrews did well. Well, the ball has been stolen and Willis has it and he's bumping through Reed. Look at the power in contact, shaking off War, dismissing Ford. This is extraordinary from Willis. He's made it to the 10-metre line before losing the ball. And Sale have it now and the counter is on and Carpenter thumps it long.
Oh,
the chase
what a
from
kick
Reed.
that is. Oh,
Goodness me.
Just looked up with his eyes, looked down the right side, saw it wasn't on. That is a brilliant turnaround for Sale. What
Good
about
pressure
the
on the
power?
line out. The sack's good from Itoje. That's what causes the spilled ball. Willis spots it. Then how about this for a carry? Bouncing defenders off, going through both halfbacks twice. And then Bevan Rod comes in, plays by the big boy roll. To be fair, I think it was
high.
War, wasn't it, who strips it. And then how about this for a kick?
Remarkable 50-22, allowing for Sale possession. Ball claimed by Bamba. And Sale look to put the squeeze on here with the driving game. War wants it, has it now. Dupree. Ford. Space opening up for Carpenter. Ducks back against the grain. The ball left hanging. Reed to George Ford again. Accelerates into the space. Sale 5 metres out. Big counter-ruck from Sarries, desperately. And they've secured the ball.
That's all about Tompkins again. His ability to read how loose a ruck is and get his weight through. There's not many better than,
Okay, Sarries, use,
than that
please.
guy doing that. I'll get those words out in a second. But you know what I mean.
Stop.
For Sale, who's not got distance on that.
How well does Shegan do here to mark this man? Because Ford's pass is delightful. Look at this. Bang. Gives him the distance so that he can step back wrong foot him. But he stays alert. And they just cause enough of a mess of this on the floor. Ford's on fire.
Time off. I don't want you running into that channel.
Just gives the impression of being able to compute everything so carefully in the moment, Austin.
Yeah, but another part of the tactics now that's become really important is how you position your kick chasers. You look at the difference. Sale are winning a lot. Here's a good example. So just look at the catchment area. Look how wide the 5 Sale players are, and inside them are all the Sarries players. You don't expect a tap from a kick that high to only go 1 or 2 metres. You think it's going to go 3 or 4. They've obviously looked at that. There'll be stats involved, a lot of research, but they're winning a lot of those 50-50 balls at the minute. And you've got to think it's because of their analysis of that kick chase positioning.
Oof. Over the fingertips of Andrews, and Willis onto it.
It's one of those that it's not the hooker's fault. Andrews had to slow down because he realised his lifters weren't there. Completely ruined the timing for Cowan-Dickey.
Roebuck's kick. Daly in the backfield. Sale trying to time his run. Across comes Maasi wide off, and Sale has taken it quite brilliantly. Diving catch on the 10-metre line. And the penalty is Saracens now.
Compete for the ball. He just ran into him. He didn't actually compete for the ball.
I
don't know who it was, to be fair.
It's Maasi White here. His eyes, he hasn't really seen Van Sale. He thinks he can just take that.
That's a harsh
on
decision,
the floor,
isn't it? I can't see him. Can you see out the back of his head? Have you got eyes in the back of your head?
You'd be able to see them.
But,
I think that's really harsh.
Well, harsh or no, Sale are back inside their 22. What you can say, total commitment from Van Sale on the
Did he make a genuine
catch.
attempt to go up and compete for the ball? No, I don't think he did. He was underneath.
You don't have to
doesn't
jump
mean
here.
to.
Yeah.
Here's Burke to the line, and Hartley launched and then upended. Maasi White driving him back into the ground. Brilliant shot from the inside centre on his opposite man, a former housemate from their Wasps days. Great meeting in the midfield. Here come Saracens again. One more thundering tackle from Jean-Luc Dupree. Willis. Burke to Earl, head down and really low into Rob Dupree by the look of things. Space on the outside, Angus Hall. Lovely run from Hall, 5 metres short of the line. Tackle made by Roebuck. And Saracens poised really for the first time in the game. Itoje upended by Dupree. Van Sale. George lays it up.
George Ford stopping Jamie George dead there.
Burke, Hartley goes wide, Shegan, across comes Carpenter, Shegan pops it up, Dupree is there, and then the block via Ollie Hartley. This game is being played at some lick.
If Hartley doesn't block that, they're in real trouble, because that kick was into open space with forwards all around it from a Saracens perspective, and a bit of pace for Sale to chase. But great first tackle there from George Ford, and then that ball over the top's lovely, accelerates in, but the offload's taken. And then if this isn't charged down, I think Sale could have been streaking up the field.
The defence of Sale's back three has been first class on the cover. Roebuck first on this side, try-saving tackle.
What's
Carpenter on that
numbers?
side, try-saving tackle.
5.
You need your back three to perform big at the end of the season. They make such a difference. I know we talk about the forwards a lot, but these are match
All
winners.
backwards that I can see.
Bevan Rod has dropped on this for Sale. Vocal for Jaw. Sets it up one more time.
No, not yet. Use it.
Very close there, Itoji, to the charge down.
Shegan thinking about the quick one. There's good distance on that from Gus Waugh.
Is it me, or does it just feel a bit different this weekend? This start of the weekend, it just feels like it's got a bit more, oomph.
14
It's meaty, isn't it?
Yeah, meaty, yeah. It does, it feels great, I love it.
Out it comes from Earl. Saracens trying to thread together a meaningful attack again. In goes Curry, steals the ball. And did that go forwards?
Sale are winning all the first touches on those loose balls on the floor at the moment, though.
Bevan Rod with the little nudge through. Taken by Hartley. Daly on the outside. And cross comes forwards. Carpenter to his left. Might just have been in front of him as he launched that. It won't matter. It's gone directly into touch this time.
Curry makes the turnover, but doesn't actually pull it back to his own side. So you think Saracens have got this back, but every time the ball's loose on the floor at the moment, Sale seem to be getting down there and winning those first touches. All the momentum with them at the moment. Their tails are up. Saracens have to try and arrest this. Bit of time on the ball. Jamie George really taking his time with this throw, just to take some of the sting out of the game.
Up goes Itoji again, and Burke to Hartley, tracked by Curry, and finished off that tackle by Maasi White. It's busy in that midfield, isn't it?
Step, step, step. 9 use. No, it's not. Lads, up, up, up.
In comes Reed. Up goes Ezekwe. Tizard. Rod again. Very often leading that first line of defence tight to the ruck. Hartley probing in the backfield. And Ford just does enough to get that away to Carpenter, who'll take him on now. And Roebuck is on the right, and he's opening up here. Roebuck back in field. Carpenter there, and they're working brilliantly together. Roebuck once more into the 22, linking superbly, and George Ford has it. That is quite brilliant from Sale. And if you want to chart the rise of the Sale Sharks attacking plan, here it is.
Well, it comes from a load of good defence, big shots going in. Saracens can't get anywhere. How about this, though? Roebuck offloads to Carpenter, realises that they're a little bit isolated. Saracens have overcommitted, so he picks from the base himself, survives the tackle, holds up another defender, and offloads to Ford. That is Sale at their absolute best, and they've started this first 17 minutes in incredible form.
Told you it was good. What about Roebuck? The pick-up off his toes, his balance and power and core strength to get his shoulders back up. It's just sensational. This guy has got better and better since he played for England against Wales, week in, week out. Stays alive, keeps the ball back to his feet, doesn't rest. Look at this pickup, in one motion, goes through the tackle again, tries to beat the cover, rides the first tackle, gets his hands free. And old man Ford's there to waddle over under the posts. Has a brilliant try.
Well, the link play was special, wasn't it? Right from the early part of it, Carpenter and Roebuck combining so nicely. Those two have got real chemistry. Great pals off the field and brilliant on it together.
The clear out for that pickup. There were about 4 Saracens players, and I'm not sure who the clear out was from Sale, but one player holds enough and holds himself over the ball. Without him doing that, Roebuck's can't pick the ball up, and it's probably going to be a turnover. I think it was Massey White who did it. 1 against 4, and he's really got an assist there.
Daly finding a little bit of space. Gets it away to Carey. Willis has put together a fine body of work this season. His work in the contact, beyond the contact significantly, better than everybody's really. Tompkins buffeted, another big shot from Van Rijn. Sale really are hitting hard tonight.
Advantage.
George has
Totally
stayed
unnecessary.
down.
Off the ball.
It's Curry, I think.
Mate, I already spoke to you. Stop it. Stick to the rugby, please.
I'll be interested to see this
That's
again,
why
whether
you got
it is
a
off the ball.
Oh, he's committed there,
Close.
isn't he?
Yeah, no, I mean,
I
it's
guess
like-
he might not wrap his arm completely, but
See this time.
that's all right.
That's okay, isn't it? I
It's
mean, he's
silly,
already
ran
dipped,
into
he's
him,
in
he didn't need to
motion.
do it. He could have pulled out. Mate, it's just a penalty. You've got the penalty, please.
If you're a Sarries
What do you
fan,
wanna
you're
do, guys?
screaming at the screen. If you're a Sale fan, you're also screaming at the screen.
Probably heard Christoph Ridley there, the referee,
No, of course not.
feeling that the option was there to pull out for Tom Curry. From an Andy Farrell perspective, he doesn't want to see too much friendly fire between the likes of Tom Curry and anybody else really on the field.
Even if I look at it, I'm at low danger. I'm entry point penalty only.
Jamie George is asking
It's just
Christoph
silly.
Ridley
It's unnecessary, that's all it is.
to check for that
It's
head
not
on head.
dangerous.
I think that's good refereeing. Looking at that first replay, certainly looks like it's shoulder first, and then it's a bit of a whiplash. He's saying no danger.
Fergusberg. And the roar tells you he's fired it wide.
The decision to go for the posts is absolutely spot on, because it's all been Sale. Saracens just need to chip away every chance they can now and just change that mindset that Sale feel really comfortable. Suddenly that scoreboard starts getting closer again and they're thinking, what's going on here? But you have to deliver in those big moments.
It could be their Achilles heel this season. They've got nobody over 70% on thetheir kick stats.
Yeah, Burke's kicking at 67, and of course they've been so used to the 80% plus of Owen Farrell. Season after season, another good bust from Massey White, who's impressing.
Another tap back that Sale have won.
He's offside, Shagan. About 5 metres in front of the kick.
Going to make too many odds to Carpenter, who ducks back infield. Forward to Rod.
Better defence. Tizard with the hit. Tompkins
So
leading
lucky.
the lineup.
Forward again, right into the teeth of that defence. Curry on the outside. Reed working the feet, tracked by Burke. Bramber. Forward again to the boot. Cross comes Roebuck, and biding his time, allows Shagan to take it in.
Work out. Use it. Tuck!
There's Alec Clary.
I think the thing that Sale do as a team better than anyone else is their low knee-height tackles to stop people dead. Every time a Saracens player is carrying, their legs are taken away from them instantly.
Backwards.
Shogun got up well on that occasion.
He's
Itoje
onside.
made the most of it, and once more, Willis is doing the sort of work that we've become very familiar with.
I just heard Gus Waugh say to us, will you stop picking on me?
It's Daly to Angasol, lovely feet. Reed goes back in for more, Hall flings it, that's gone forwards I think, from Ollie Hartley. And once again, the hunger and the desire in defence from Sale, drawing dividends.
They're feeding off it, aren't they? George Ford runs in, hoists Reed back to his feet, everyone else pats him on the back. When you're in this sort of zone as a team, it just feels like you're bulletproof. They've got to continue that. The hard thing will be, can they continue it after the half-time break? Saracens will do all they can to throw a spanner in the works before then.
He'll be delighted though, only because statistically they haven't started games particularly well this season.
Over the middle.
Well, their defence has been pretty strong this season. They're second in the charts. Sparrow and McGuigan, the man in charge of it, of course, now.
You'd struggle to find a better 20 minutes of defending in the league this year than what we've just seen from Sale. For all the brilliant stuff they've done in attack, I think the foundation has been on what that man's been working on.
Isn't it interesting as we get nearer and nearer to the trophy? The defence takes on a slightly different shade. Seen some big scorelines, seen some blowouts. Now is the good stuff. On the bounce this time to Carpenter, little hitch kick past Shagan,
Okay there.
and drilled forwards into touch.
Brilliant back row move there from Sale. Waugh looks like he's going to take the ball, but it's Dupree that bounces out from the number 8 slot, and then look how they hold the defenders.
Happy.
3 get completely concertinaed in, the space out the back, it's just the quality of the pass that's not there. That goes to hand. They've got really easy meters on the outside that they can take. Free space down the pitch.
He's going off for a HIA.
Head injury assessment for Tom Curry by the look of things. He's trying to get off as quickly as possible, presumably so he can get back on as quick as possible. In the meantime,
Jamie, we've got
Sam
to move on,
Dugdale takes his place. If you're wondering where Ben Curry is, by the way, he was unwell last week, and then this time around he's had some sort of complication with
Timing, Luke, timing.
the sutures, the stitches that were used for a hamstring
that's in
operation
5.
2 years ago. It's been causing trouble with a tendon. It's not something they're expecting to keep him out for too long, but it was unexpected.
You can only assume that was from the collision. Jamie George, can't you? It did rock him a little bit.
Robot just a little late to arrive on that one. Burke sends it up for Carpenter. So much time to assess his options.
Out the 10, lads. Mara, out the 10, out the 10.
Daly's good as this. Nobody challenging him. Daly's got it, and links nicely with Burke. Ezekwe waiting. Instead, it's for Willis. Roebuck brings him down, but the inside ball is good. Burke is there again. Waugh trying desperately to slow up possession. Earl to Itoje. Sale might just be asking themselves why nobody got in the way of Elliot Daly gathering that high ball. Here's Jamie George. Lays it up for Fansale. Tompkins, bang. Ben Bamba and Jean-Luc Dupree ending that little excursion. Carre, Itoje just ran past it, knocked the ball on the process. Sale ball.
He's stuck.
Error count has been huge. Partly that will be the psychology of how this game's gone so far, but they've got to sort this out.
No clearance kick. They're going through the hands, and Reed is going inside and outside Tompkins, and then past Angus Hall. And here's Aaron Reed, still going strong. Nobody will catch him from there. The celebration early. Sale have 3. Saracens cut to ribbons.
That could well go down as the try of the season. What a finish this is. Everyone's exhausted on the field, apart from that man, and he's got all the wheels. They spot the opportunity, they get the ball out to him, steps on the inside, then the outside, beats Tompkins in a phone box, sidesteps back inside, no acceleration. You think he's going to run out of speed? No, he's not. And a little swerve. That is a world-class finish. Can I watch it again?
Just
okay, I
incredible.
can.
The bravery of George Ford to go from there. Had numbers, Saracens, but just slightly deep haul gave him the option to go, and then as soon as Reed's got it, he's just got such a lovely balanced style of running and swerves almost effortlessly, almost untouched around Elliot Daly. And then Tompkins saw him come back into view and said, there's no way I'm going to catch him.
Stunning score, absolutely stunning score, and very much worthy of 7 points rather than 5. His 6th in the league, and now his 11th in 17 games. What balance, what pace.
You got a feel for Tompkins there, gets turned twice, and then he's never going to have the pace. Has had a pretty high workload, Tompkins, with all the runners that have been coming down his channel. Look how much it means to those reserve players for Sale. They're loving this.
Once again, we're reminded, Ben, there is just no substitute for speed. Pocket rocket. Very much flying the flag for the smaller winger. The Biel Biarres, the Cheslin Colbys, the Kirtley Aronses, the Aaron Reeds. Not required currently by Scotland, but my goodness.
That's all off feet.
If it's pace you want, pace he has. A big run up here for Willis. Oh! Once again, Cowan-Dickey going really low, and then Jean-Luc Dupré continuing the motion. Van Sale with the quick tap from the penalty, wrestling with Gus Waugh. Willis is still down, having been upended in acrobatic fashion.
Upended, he was dissected.
Burke, oh, that's high from Opoku Pojo. Penalty given up, bang in front of the posts. Saracens could really do with some points at this point.
Well, an indication of a team on the ropes. Just watch after this kick goes in. We'll see the tackle in a second, don't worry. But just watch how quick Sale chase this kick chase once they're put onside, as opposed to the Saracens players. The Saracens players are trudging back. They've had the wind taken out of them. Sale are on a high, they're chasing everything, but then what a hit at that. And people will say, did he wrap? He gets his arms out. And that's what the referees are looking for, getting your arms up, horizontal. Goes low. The question may be, a little bit like that Tommy Rafael tackle from last season, or earlier in the season.
Is he already down?
Is he already on the ground before he makes that tackle?
You've got 2 guys down. Gus Waugh's down. Cowan-Dickey's down.
Yeah, Waugh is hurrying back into the defensive line because Saracens are pressing here. Half an hour gone, yet to score. Not been clinical enough from this sort of position. But this is looking a little more promising. Itoje runs into Bamba. Ezekwe now. Carry by carry. Willis.
Oh, great shot.
Here's Tom Willis.
Away, Blue.
Another carry from Itoje. Reece Carey waits. Tries to keep that centre of gravity really low. Clary now for Saracens. Sale straying offside. Penalty coming. Saracens want more. Van Sale wants to feed it out. Here's Tompkins. Muscular defence again from Sale. Daly, though, finding Hall. Hall is in. First points of the evening for Saracens. Angus Hall, in only his 2nd Premiership start, a try against the Tigers, a try here in Salford against Sale.
Just the response they needed, and this man has been the real high point for Saracens tonight so far. Just watch how he survives the collision, from Cowan-Dickey and Bevan Rod by not going forward, not being greedy, waiting for them to shoot the cannon and then going past them. And then really good off-go from Tompkins there. Daly's alert, he's got loads of time to make the pass. And that was crucial for Saracens, had to deliver a score the next time they came down into the 22. And Burke had the 2 more, which at this stage are crucial.
Angus Hall, 19 years old. 2 tries from 2 starts for Saracens, and that is a very fine conversion.
Yeah, all round very good from Saracens. Exactly what they needed, the shot in the arm, the antibiotic to get rid of what's been going on, but it took a very good piece of skill. Don't underestimate that. It's over 20 metres off his left hand on the money. Otherwise, he doesn't go over in the corner. He hasn't got the time. It's a great pass from Daly. Typical Saracens, isn't it? Punched in the face 50 times and then they find a way to get back to their feet.
But also taking the opportunity. There are teams that pick and go 5 metres from the line and the backs never see it. You've got to get that timing right. As soon as you shorten up that defensive line, the ball needs to come back, and then you need to rely on those handling skills of your backs.
The restart is directly into touch, so just the smallest of momentum shifts. Let's check in with Rob Webber, part of the Sarries coaching setup. Rob, goodness, you've had to weather a storm so far, haven't you? Those points particularly critical.
Yeah, a big storm. They've obviously started very, very well, and we've probably started a bit too slowly. Obviously, look, we've got to keep playing properly, not change the game yet. There's half of rugby left after this, and we've just shown there that when we do get down there, we can score ourselves. And a couple of worldy tries from long range. We've just got to stick to our game plan and build pressure back down that end of the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a really obvious and perhaps stupid question. Tell me if it is, but the kind of the nature of the physicality here, you've got to find a way to throw a few punches of your own in that regard, haven't you?
Yeah, we do, and we've probably carried a bit too softly at the moment. You all right, mate? We've probably carried a bit too softly and not ramped up enough, so we've got to take that into our own control.
Thanks so much for your time, Rob.
Right, cheers.
Apologies, 1 or 2 issues with the microphone.
Good attacking platform here for Saracens. Interesting to see what they do. Willis off the base. Neither Ford nor Gus Waugh have enjoyed his company so far this evening.
He's got the bit between his teeth for sure, hasn't he? Most post-contact meters, the most defenders beaten, the second most carries, crazy numbers.
I mentioned before the game that he's very like Billy Vunipola and how he carries in, that he doesn't rely on running at full tilt. He often stops in the contact, uses his strength to push people to the floor, and then re-accelerates really quickly. That sort of defender, you can't use their body weight against them, you can't use their momentum against them, and because they're so strong, there's very little defensively you can do. Big scrum penalty for Poco Fajour against Reece Carey there.
Scrum penalty, something for Poco Fajour to celebrate. One up on Reece Carey as Sale pour forwards beyond halfway. Ford. Dupree. Again, driving it deep.
It's a clever kick. He's got defenders in front of him, no support play behind him. Don't risk the contact and the turnover. It's a clever play around the halfway line.
Here's Reid again, setting off to that short side. Carpenter.
Marrow bumped the clearer out the way, that's why you got on the ball. Marrow played a man off the ball, that's why he couldn't clear.
Just those little things, the little edges to players where you try and ease them out of the line that they're running to try and make the clear out. That's too aggressive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's too obvious.
So blatant. He can do the same thing without making that bigger contact. Just stand there, make him run round you.
But that's not like him, is it? He doesn't do things like that. That's 2 now in the game. The Bosch on to Curry's shoulder, that one there. He's on edge about something because he doesn't make those mistakes in front of the referee.
Well, there'll be a few things flooding through his mind, you would think. A, the frustration about how this evening's gone to this point and the ferocity of everything Sale are bringing. And then matters, of course, bigger and broader and wider and maybe Lions-shaped. Aaron Andrews for
really,
the Sale Sharks.
Really good response from Saracens to come back, but Sale won that initial shove, a little bit like a scrum. If you win the initial hit, you're in good shape. Now might be compromised slightly.
Cowandicky's done well. Being held initially by Hartley. Bevan Rod tries to extend and set that ball up clean for Gus Warmer. Arcee White driven back. The ball has gone forwards. And Saracens recover, and they are digging in here now.
Tries to offload it, doesn't he, out the back, but this will be a big shot in the arm for Sale, getting Curry back.
HIA passed. Curry on, Dugdale off.
Really important scrum here for Rhys Carey. Having given away a penalty at the last on the halfway, now under his sticks. Would love to make amends, but he can't go chasing it and risk giving away another penalty by being too aggressive. Saracens will just want this in and out, really.
First start for Rhys Carey for Saracens in 4 months. Been preferring Ironi Maui on that loose head side, but facing the full force of Opoku Fujor tonight.
Bind. Set.
It's with Willis. And again, the dynamism from the base.
Okay, 9, use, please.
Oh, through comes War. The ball was out, and looks like Van Zyl was waiting for the perfect moment. In the meantime, Gus War was right in amongst it.
You're not the first man, you can't be under that.
Gus War was legal.
Tell you when the ball's out. You've placed it, it's nowhere near under the foot.
And last man dives in close to the breakdown, so he can't. He's not legal,
You know
but
it's
that's
miles out there.
referee said that's out. Hands are on it, although he hasn't lifted it. He was saying that it was okay.
You take your chances there, don't you, as a 9, because you can easily see him just blowing the whistle. I know they've got the penalty now, but is it worth taking the chance? Normally you wait for the ref to say, or you ask the ref, is it out? I suppose you've got to back yourself.
How do you feel about the battle at 9, Austin? Not necessarily this one here tonight, but like the idea that they're so protected now, and actually you've lost quite a lot of the niggle between the two.
I think it's gone too far. I think they need to go back to where you could just beat each other up.
Brilliant from Ezekwe. How good was he in the line-out last week? Daly, quick hands to Shegan. Tarja carrying a little high. Opoku Fujor makes the tackle. Daly to Carey.
No. Still under the foot. No. Use it. So, excuse me. That's time. No.
Clock in the red at the end of this first half. One more tester for Reed. Oh, that's fabulous from Hall. He got it away, but Earl couldn't hang on to it, and Reed slips it away to Carpenter. The footwork exceptional. Maybe there's one last attack left in the Sharks. Not if Itoje has his way. Steals the ball. Tompkins finds Daly. Space in the backfield. 50-22 is on.
Time's up.
And time is elapsed. And good as the kick was, the execution immaculate from Daly. That brings to an end a breathless 40 minutes. A 40 minutes in which Aaron Reed has scored one of the tries of the season in a very crowded field, it must be said. Tries also for George Ford and Raketi. Arcee White. Sale coming tearing out of the blocks this evening. Angus Hall with one back for Sarries, and at half-time in this all-important fixture as we head towards the playoffs, Sale 22, Saracens 7. Some point or other we might let you know what happened to Mark Cueto and Richard Wigglesworth at half-time, who are just underneath our commentary gantry here. One of the Lions coaches is taking a keen eye on proceedings here this evening, and he'll have been mighty impressed with the way Sale have been carrying
very
out.
badly there. That's going to be a head injury removal, I think, unless it's his neck that he's injured. I think it was Hall going up for that kick. Just play he was looking to climb on just disappeared, and he landed straight on his head.
Medic on the field at this point in time.
It is a maul.
And Saracens looking to effect the choke tackle. They've done that very effectively, and if they can prevent Sale getting the ball, it will be theirs. And there's the decision. Back to Angus Hall.
Potentially he could have just winded himself there by the looks of things, but very ropey as he got up.
It wasn't immediate.
See,
it wasn't immediate.
It's Luke Cowan-Dickie that just moves, doesn't he, as part of the lift, and he's intending to use his knee to climb on Cowan-Dickie and get himself some more leverage.
Scorer of the only Saracens try of the night.
Come on, set the tone. First one, Dickie.
Very, very highly rated, this young man. 19 years old, as we were saying earlier, and if you chat with any of the Saracens coaching staff, if you chat with the likes of Mark McCall and Phil Morrow in particular, they think this guy has an incredibly high ceiling, suggesting he's one of the very, very best that's come through their system, capable of playing all across the back line. Van Sale blocked by Van Rijn, and Reid just had to do something there. He'll concede the knock-on, but important that ball didn't make it any further from a Sharks perspective.
Yeah, for someone who's got the most kicks this season, he's had a few issues tonight, Van Sale, hasn't he? A few charge down, a few skied balls. Kicks more than anyone else, retains more than anyone else. He's been put under pressure, hasn't he?
Off the ground.
Rangers getting up enough. 50th Premiership start tonight for Ivan Van Sale. And talking to Mark McCall in the week about Fergus Burke and how he's just begun to feel a bit more settled in and around the Saracens squad, marshalling games. He said it was always going to take a bit of time. You're filling Owen Farrell's boots, obviously, but that communication, that understanding does take time. And he actually referenced Van Sale and the changeover from the Wigglesworth Spencer era as a good example of that.
It's a hit and chase.
This could be a bomb that Fergus Burke's looking to put up into the 22.
Let's go, lads.
There it is from Burke. Carpenter looking to own the space. The tap back was good though from
Ezekwe.
Sarries. Ezekwe did that, and away they come. George Van Sale digging. Sarries sweeping back towards the right. They look to be well marshalled here, but that's a strong run from Hartley. Itoje struggling to get through the gain line here. Sarries, Daly, Earl. Again, dealt with. Haran Andrews to the fore. Hartley to Tompkins. Ironi Maui, who's come on in place of Rhys Carey on the loose head for Saracens. Van Sale, Shagan. And the ball dislodged out from Cowan-Dickie to Ford.
Space here.
Advantage over for knock-on.
Andrews is down on the ground at the moment for the Sharks. Daly in the backfield. And the clearance just sliced a little bit. Andrews being attended to for Sale.
The story of the first half was Sale's defensive work. Big hit there from Marcy White. Haran Andrews over the top. But if you just pick them out, they will hit you hard. It's what you do off that. Haran Andrews, that's where he picks up his injury. Shagan can't hold the ball.
On comes Alex Good, and Angus Hall is having a head injury assessment, as we thought he might from that early collision. Oz.
Just looking at the ref I mean, it's not going your way for Sarries. They've had a few things, but it's a good example. Look, they're trying to set up Shagan through the shoulder ball, but Christoph Ridley decides he's going to stay in the channel. It's only for a split second, but it just puts you off as the timing. You can't eyeball the guard, and if you can eyeball the guard, you can get him to step in on you. So it's really tough, that,
actually,
on Sarries.
for Shagan as well. The ball is, while it's in the air, the ball's actually hidden by Christoph Ridley's body. So there's nothing he can do. He doesn't know where the ball's going to go. He'll be disappointed with it, but you can see Shagan can't actually see the flight of the ball, but he can see Cowan Dickey, so his eyes get attracted to the defender rather than staying on the ball.
Should have been a Sarries scrum, that, for getting in the way of the ref.
Nevertheless, the defensive pressure being applied here is something, isn't it, from Sale? It kind of reminds me of the sort of glory days of Sarries, actually, such as the strangling nature of it. Not too much oxygen to breathe. And now they're on the front foot again, forwards. Carpenter, who's been slippery all night, really is playing some great rugby right now. War forward to Bevanrod. Forward again, nothing doing via the phases, so test out Van Sale. Roebuck with the tackle, the offload to Daly. Forward, just outside the 22, good chase from Daly. And Van Sale combining with Good. First touch for Alex Good. Back goes War. Has to watch for a tricky bounce. Smacked by Van Sale. Bounces back to his feet. Saracens calling for the penalty. They've got it.
Well, the Sale bench are all up.
Because he tackles him off the floor, doesn't he, Van Sale? Does he get back to his feet?
Yeah. The first tackle he drops, doesn't he? Drops right down.
Does he get back to his feet? No, he doesn't. No. And then he tackles him.
That's not foul play because it's a big duck, but there.
That's foul play.
It's unavoidable. He ducks at the last minute.
Just look at the tackle afterwards.
That's a penalty to Sale. You can't tackle whilst you're off your feet.
I don't think we're going to be hearing anything further from Stuart Terridge, our TMO, so play continues and Saracens can benefit here. Daly waiting. Tompkins and onwards to Hartley, and Earl now tries to accelerate. Nice and straight. Sale working hard over the ball.
Tom Curry
coming up trumps.
We were looking forward to that battle between these two. It's not Ben Earl's fault. He does his job, makes the carry. Tom Curry, like an Exocet, as soon as he's down, bang, straight in over the ball. Nothing Maui can do once he's in that position to move him.
And the pressure relieved. Maybe some justice there off the back of Van Sale's tackle whilst lying prone.
Just Maui has to take that extra step around Van Rijn and then go forward again, and in that fraction of a second Tom Curry's clamped in on the ball.
Have a word with Alex Sanderson in a moment or two. The Sharks director of rugby, Van Rijn, takes it in off the tail.
What's the third one on the trot they've thrown over the top, Ali?
9 use.
Saracens made such an unholy mess of the Gloucester line out, didn't they? Maybe they're keen to avoid too much competition there. Bevanrod trying to run this down, and it's been... Oh, there wasn't a knock-on, there was a nudge off the ball.
If there's a knock-on beforehand, the TMO will let me know.
Alex Good's just trying to run away with the ball, pretending he hasn't heard the whistle.
I think there was a bit more after that.
The penalty.
It's coming up now, knock on blue 14 beforehand.
Okay, no worries.
I think if they roll it on. Yeah, he knocks it on, it's well spotted.
Lads,
But then there's a little bit of
I've just been
afters.
told by the TMO there was a knock-on by Blue first.
They
so
keep
they're gonna go
rolling
back to the
this.
scrum
I
white.
don't know what Alex does. I think he drops his knees
Scrum
into his
round,
ribs.
White ball. There was a knock-on first.
There may be a little bit more to unravel. You feel like Rob Dupree thinks that there might be. However, let's have a word with Alex Sanderson, Director of Rugby with Sale, of course. Alex, first and foremost, your overriding impression of the first 50 minutes here has been incredibly physical, very quick, and it feels really meaningful tonight.
Yeah, I've been saying in the week it's a final. We've got another, hopefully, six finals to play, starting with this one, and we knew it would be really physical. We need to bring that physical edge. We're doing that in the collisions. I'm really happy. We're banging tonight, but I think we're losing the middle. You know, when it gets a bit mucky in the kicking game, where we can have a bit more engagement in that area to give us a bit more possession.
You talk about engagement, Al. What exactly do you mean there? You just want cleanliness.
So when they kick long and maybe we kick long backwards, just have a look at this passage of play now, and then it goes up to a contestable. I feel like we can work harder either side of the ball, harder to fill defensively, but more so harder to work back, to get behind for an attacking opportunity. So like through the middle, rather than watch and spectate, you know, make sure we're dominating the effort battle that's occurring, because at the moment I feel like we're dominating the physical battle.
Right. Can we also talk about Aaron Reid?
He's greased lightning, isn't he?
Unbelievable try, wasn't it?
Yeah, he doesn't need a lot of space, and he hasn't had a lot of space in recent weeks. But he is really, really quick, as you can see. And him just enjoying a bit of open field, and you know, we had to give it to him 5 metres behind. And if that's what we've got to do when the opportunity's there, like I heard over the commentary, if the space is over the top of the line, we've just got to take best space and make them change what they're doing.
Yeah. Not done yet, though, is it? There's a long way to travel. You know, with Sarries, they're going to be right in this to the death.
100%, yeah. You know, we talked at half-time. We were here last week against Quins, 2 scores up, and there was a shift and change in our body language, like, almost just holding on, using it as a buffer, and we said, no, this week we're going to improve. We're going to try and step up. I talked about winning the physical battle there. That's Willis winning a couple of his own. So yeah, look, we want to step the intensity up, make sure we stay accurate at the breakdowns, and some effort in the middle of the park.
Fantastic. Alex, thanks so much for your time, as ever.
Cheers, Alan. Thanks, man.
Just the physicality of Ben Bamba. And then from Tom Willis, we're seeing it in almost every carry tonight. So much bite to this contest.
I think what Al
Why'd they go? Oh dear, Curry again is just taken out Tompkins slightly off the ball. I wonder if that will attract the attention of the officials. In the meantime, Maui for Saracens, who are probing hard just beyond the 10-metre line and can't quite find the holes everywhere they look at the moment. Blue shirts.
Just listen to what Al was saying there. He spotted actually that in between the kick chases they're switching off a little bit, and you're starting to see it actually manifest itself defensively now. They're getting carried an extra couple of metres, they're getting a little bit tight, their communication and work rate could be better. They're slightly losing collisions like that one, and that's what he's concerned about, because he's seen it in previous weeks. Just a period of 10-15 minutes where they've really got to switch on.
So hard to maintain 100% intensity throughout as Daly pokes this through. It's a really testing one for Ford. So little he could do about that. Had to gather it. Ben Earl was right there too, and enough bodies have arrived. Ben,
clear out from Carpenter. He's leapfrogged over his own man and dropped into position.
Bamba
It's momentum took him
barrels
over.
forwards.
And have a look who's in every ruck at the minute. It's Tompkins. Tompkins, the nose, he's brilliant at it.
Excuse me, sir.
You missed the clip.
Gus Waugh. It's a weary-looking kick from Gus Waugh, but he's done well to give them a little bit of breathing space. And let's not forget as well the Saracens bench, which will play its part at some point. And in fact, here comes some of the cavalry at least. Theo Dan is on. Theo McFarland is on. And Harvey Beaton is on at tight head as well, replacing Alec Clary.
Greg, are we good to go?
And that was Gus Waugh's final act for Sale. Rafi Quirk is on at 9. Juan Martin Gonzalez is with us as well. So this might just change the dynamic. Certainly Mark McCall will be hoping so.
Plenty of energy in those substitutions for Saracens, isn't there? High-octane players.
Burke. And a first run for Juan Martin Gonzalez, one of those who was shining against Gloucester last week as they take it to the line through Burke. From Sale, Itoji. Still going into the 22. Cut down by Quirk. Ezekwe arriving. And Sale having to go to the well here defensively. Back to the short side they come. McFarland, whose handling we know is exceptional. Maui couldn't gather it. Sale looked to try to hoover it up, but it's still with Saracens. And here's Gonzalez playing with an advantage. Curry cleared out well beyond the ruck. Sale tries to loop it up and over to Itoji, always knowing they had an advantage.
On the floor, you played the ball back and you're lying on the ground.
There's a lot going on all over the place. Clearing out from the side, the Rooks are getting really physical, very fast. Saris are just trying to find a way to manipulate themselves back into the game.
Well, they've worked their way effectively into the 22, and they've given themselves a shot at the catch and drive. Angus Hall, by the way, will not be returning. His HIA failed. Alex Good with us for the remainder of the contest. Dan, and quickly around for the drive through. It was McFarland who gathered it. The transfer wasn't clean, and Sale have got their paws on it somehow or other.
Tackle all the way wide. No, over the top.
I think McFarland was trying to smuggle it away to Nick Ezekwe, Ben.
But I think he actually landed with the ball underneath him, and he wanted to place it, but he lost control of the ball on the floor. They go quickly with the no-jump line out, and as soon as you do that, you've just got to race for the line. Ezekwe comes in. If he gets the ball here, he's going to get that long place, but he just misses it. It bobbles. Bevan Rod finds it on the floor, and Sale survive.
Ezekwe this time, the transfer is good. Dan on the burst, and
in front of his own man.
Some obstruction there, surely. That's the call from Christoph Ridley, and Sale off the hook.
This time, didn't they? Both went for the same pocket.
Because it's an accident.
This will show us a good angle. Both trying to isolate Cowan Dickey. I mean, you've just got to pull out there, haven't you?
Time off. Time off, lads.
Intensive coaching staff, knowing that everything is right in the balance here tonight. Still very much in this contest, but
you're right.
Quite a bit to get done for Saracens in the next 25 minutes or so. A reminder that tomorrow we are at the Rec for Bath Newcastle, Discovery Plus from 2:45. We will be at Mattioli Woods Welford Road for Quinn's contest against the Tigers at 3.
I'll be honest, I've no idea. It just happened so quickly.
Saints Bristol is our offering from Franklin's Gardens at 5:15. Sunday, Gloucester, Exeter 2:30. And the Rugby Review from 5:15. Don't forget, we've got an amazing month of May coming your way as well. Extraordinary month on TNT Sports. The race for Europe in the Premier League. Coverage of all the UEFA finals, Grand Slam tennis from Roland Garros, the playoff chase, of course, right with us in the Gallagher Premiership, plus Giro d'Italia cycling, the MotoGP, British Grand Prix, the World Snooker Championship final, and lots more. All your needs catered for in the month of May. Penalty here, a scrum time to the Sharks.
Just straight on your stomach. Can you make sure I have a shoulder? Yeah, sure. Tight head, set and straight out.
This will be something that Mark McCall was concerned about. Got young Beaton coming on at the tight head. He's got a big 25 minutes ahead of him, hasn't he?
Certainly does. He's been on loan with Ampthill in the Championship. First Premiership appearance for 2 years for Harvey Beaton. He is a former England under-20s player, but in the absence of Riccioni and Balmain, they've had to scratch a little deeper into their reserves tonight. Saracens. Curry, the ball dropped by Dupree.
Backwards from what I can see.
Backwards in the eyes of Christoph Ridley.
Backwards.
Here's Rod. Held well by Beaton.
Okay, 9, use it.
Oof, Daly smashed in the tackle, did well to keep the ball alive. And Good sets it up.
It's actually a really good kick and chase, wasn't it? The length was perfect. Didn't have to break stride, could accelerate into it.
9, use it.
Carpenter. Great acceleration, the footwork brilliant. Harvey Beaton done all ends up.
It's
and,
okay.
it's a tricky one for Quirk to get where he's onto it.
I can't believe he's
Ridley says it was forwards.
It's a Saracen's hand.
Oh, we've got to see this again. This could end up being a dreadful decision. And in the whole context of the season, this could be enormous.
Great break. And it's Ezekwe's hand.
Yeah, it's his hand. Oh.
If I'm wrong, I apologise. Okay, it's clearly off.
Christoph, you want to correct yourself, it's off right.
Let me just speak to both captains then. Both captains. I've only blown the whistle, I've blown a knock-on against them when they're in the ascendancy. So what I'm going to do, it's well before you've got to the line. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give them the scrum back. It's my fault, I made a mistake, I apologise. It's a blue scrum.
Well, that is hugely unfortunate for the Sharks. That would have been their bonus point try. Brilliant break again from Carpenter, and it's that fingertip touch from Ezekwe. And Quirk was all over it. Should have been a score. Should have stood. Christoph Ridley, hands in the air.
The only thing I will say, there is a little bit of a block by Cowan-Dickie. There's only a tiny little one. I'm trying to help the ref, but there's not a lot you can do in that situation, is there?
It is so tight, so congested.
I think the thing to say in defence of Christoph Ridley is we're putting the referees under so much pressure to not use the TMO as much. He thinks he's seen a knock-on and he's backed himself there.
Well, they've got a scrum penalty here, Sale, which may be some sort of consolation.
That's the second on the trot, isn't it?
It's just straight on his belly.
Same thing, straight on his belly.
Bevan Rod. Wonder whether they've got McIntyre still to come on. Just wonder whether they'll just keep Bevan Rod on. His play around the field's been outstanding. Some of those big tackles he's been putting in, he looks fresh.
Ford pumps it into the corner. Bevan Rod enjoying himself for the scrum against the new boy on the tight head for Saracens.
A tight head straight on his stomach.
And Sharks need to find their killer edge here. Arguably the next score from them would put this game to bed. 20-odd minutes to play, you can just feel the stress levels. The drive is strong. Cowan-Dickie has it for Sale. Bevan Rod alongside him. And in comes Willis. When he's got the ball, you know.
Blue to floor.
Willis has had an incredible game.
Extraordinary effort. He's on it tonight, isn't he? Everywhere in the loose. And making a real menace of himself in the tight as well.
Willis has made 121 metres with ball in hand, 16 carries. Most of those metres have been in heavy traffic.
That's more than Reed.
Yeah.
Just for context. More than Reed.
That's amazing, isn't it?
He has been picking on little guys, though. I just don't like bullies. It takes me back to school.
Scarring runs deep.
Where I used to beat him up. For fun. Look at you two giggling.
Those 6-year-old girls were really tall, weren't they?
I just wonder if Tom Willis puts himself in the Lions conversation. It's not an area, actually, that the Lions have a huge number of options. At number 8, Caelan Doris will go, we know, quite obviously. Perhaps they'll take Jack Conan, who, of course, started all 3 tests in the last tour. But as a specialist 8...
You're right, and, you know, people talk about Ben Earl as an 8 or Morgan as an 8, you know, just to get those good quality players in when there's so much competition for maybe their out-and-out starting positions. But if he continues to play like this, we're not necessarily talking about picking the test team now, but he's got to be in the conversation to get on the plane, surely.
I think the good thing about the Lions selection is you look at the good things that players do rather than the things they don't. And the national sides often look at, like George Ford, for example, you say defensively he's going to get carried. But here he is again making a break. So we always seem to look at the positives of a Lions player, which I quite like in terms of selection.
I agree with you, and also the lovely question everybody can ask is he's really good at this level. He's already shown his international class in the Six Nations. How good can he be? Potentially, Theo Dan is in a not dissimilar bracket, getting the offload away. And Fansale is fishing for it. Ford's at least slowing things up from a Sharks perspective. That's a tricky one for Burke. And Tompkins has got a bit to do. Here's Willis again. And Marcy White does enough.
That's first man, leave now, White, leave.
The ball stolen. Curry did exactly as was asked by the referee. Dupree sets up one more ruck. Here's Marcy White. Dupree to Reed. Carpenter plays 9, and they're showing a great willingness to interchange roles here whenever they need to. Quirk, Ford, Dupree again. Going to miss him when he goes to Bordeaux. Long from Ford, brilliant. On a string. High quality kicking from a very high caliber 10. Was it a 50-22?
Well, the question is, was it taken back over the line, the halfway line? You can't quite see from there, it's too far away. It's really close.
The ball doesn't look like it crossed the halfway line.
I don't think it's enough anyway. It's got to be clear-cut, hasn't it, to rule that out. And that's a clear-cut reason for why that law has been brought in.
50-22, it doesn't cross the halfway line.
So much.
It's the end of Luke Cowan-Dickey's nights. Tig McElroy on in a raft of changes in the front row for Sale. Bevan Rod making way for Cy McIntyre, and Wilgriff John for Asher Opoku for Jaw. They've had a very good outing, that first choice Sale front row. Away it comes from Beaumont. Marcy White picking a nice line. Quirk finding Dan Dupree, who's been sprung from the bench. Recovered now from a calf problem. Ford. Carpenter levelled by Alex Good, whose timing was inch perfect. Quirk tries to drive this through for Reed. It's fallen for Shagan. And I wonder if that was a tackle from Quirk while he was lying prone. Daly feeds it back.
It could be more. If it's for a penalty for a...
Rafi's on the floor and he's made a tackle.
Would he have made the break?
He's lying on the floor, he's made a tackle.
Shagan with plenty of pace. There's the little choke through. I think Rob Dupree is there as cover, isn't he?
It's just an instinct thing, isn't it? Your entire body is just saying, do something. Stop him somehow. On comes Andy Onyama Christie. As we were telling his story before the game kicked off, that hideous fracture dislocation of his ankle back in October. Just brilliant to see him playing rugby again. And his arrival heralds the exit of the 121-metre man, Tom Willis. 17 carries, and he's been irresistible at times.
Okay, when you're ready.
Carpenter's gone as well, I think.
Yeah, Flaherty will give them some extra pace. Reed's got into fullback, I think.
Van Sale's kick, eminently winnable. It's McFarland who got up there. So dexterous. Van Sale looking for territory, hasn't got the angle, he's found Quirk. Big old space in the backfield, so Alex Good has plenty to do. And the ball, as we know, has a mind of its own at times. Tompkins caught.
He's done so well to survive so long.
Sarri's having to work so hard just to hold on to the ball.
Straight on the side.
But Sale
It's a desperate clean out.
have earned possession. Sarri's in at the side. And this is right in front of the sticks.
It's about leadership now, this decision, because the 3 points doesn't make any difference in the whole
Bonus point
context.
would, yeah.
The bonus point could be massive. Could end up being a home semi or in the top 4. 3 points now is still outside 2 scores.
Shocking.
Makes no difference at all. Well, mathematically, obviously, it's 3 points more, but they still need 3 tries.
Theo, just 10, please.
They obviously feel they have more time.
I guess conversely as well, they don't want to give Saracens a bonus point if Saracens can score another. You might feel there's still plenty of time to chase that last bonus point as well for the try.
Another big roar inside the Salford Community Stadium, and the Sharks lead by 25 points to 7 with 13 minutes of this match remaining. They are heading towards victory.
I think Bracken's just come on for Fergus Burke, has he? Is Alex Good now taking the kick-off? No, Burke's still on there as
And
well.
Sale's come off.
He's just walking off now, yeah.
Yeah, change of the nines. Here is Bracken, whips it away, and Christie moves pleasingly onto the ball. Good. First receiver, Hartley being buffeted. Big physical presence. Here the ball has gone forwards from Christie, and Sharks have an opportunity. O'Flaherty gets it away out of the back door from Dupree to his brother Rob. Here's Maasi White. Extends his arms long. Dupree to brother Dan. Ford. Ricochets everywhere. Daly to Good. And there's no way through. McElroy read that well. Just not been able to find any chinks in this Sale defence. It's been super tight.
9 use.
Bracken with the box kick. O'Flaherty watching this carefully.
Oh, what a catch!
Incredible. The turnover has been awarded. Juan Marcin Gonzalez got in really quick to that.
No.
Once again, it's sparking.
Elliot Daly's just regretting his decision.
Yeah.
To push one of the Dupree brothers.
Just read the name on the back of the shirt.
It's always the scrum halves that start it. Rafi Quirk disappears with the ball. Elliot Daly takes exception to it, has a little push, gets held on the floor by one of the Dupree brothers, so he goes and pushes him. Brilliant take. Great body position from Gonzalez, wins that turnover, and then Quirk just disappears with the ball. A little hold on the floor, comes back for a push, in comes the other brother.
That's a great kick.
On they go, yeah. Went hard at the line.
Looked a lot closer to the corner than that.
He's
from
not
up
been
here.
very generous, George Selwood. Sharks quickly into position. Saracens need something here. I told you with the dummy, instead to McFarland. And here's Theo Dan. Incredibly dynamic. Bracken leaves it there. Taken on by Onyama Christie. Dan again. Just moving laterally to try to avoid those on-rushing defenders. Sale again, muscling up here as Aroni Maui takes aim.
And they hold the ball up, Sale. That's the... It's going to come back.
You're much better in these positions, trying to concede. Trying to concede, get them over the line, fall on your back.
It's choosing the right moment to do it, isn't it?
And here they break to the left as they drive through and up towards that line. Laid up. Bracken turns.
I've got it held up, but I'm going to check.
Christoph Ridley thinks it's held up.
There's an amazing tackle from Marcy White first.
I've got it held up, but I just want to check.
And then the second tackle on Bracken's brilliant.
Okay,
But
so
I
on
think-
field is no try.
Yes.
Does he get on the second attempt? Does he get to place it? There's the one where he holds the ball on Marcy White. Made sure that he can't reach for the line, but here Rafi Quirk holds him up. Does he get it down there? Because of the question, we're going to have to see clear evidence. Held up, but does he roll over now and get it down? I don't think that's clear. I think that the hand's coming in late.
I think
From
I know it's
McElroy.
not clear, but the balance of probability, the point of the ball's down, isn't it?
Yeah, but you don't see it, and I don't think it'll be given.
We're just having a look because it is close. Let's just have a look.
It's a great tackle by Quirk, spills him. Does he get it down?
That hand comes in.
No, I agree, yeah, probably is up actually on second viewing. It's not clear.
I think it might be down, but you just have
Yeah.
to see it because of the question.
We're just looking for one more, Christoph. Bear with us, please. This is the last angle now.
Not sure that's going to help us out, that one.
There's nothing conclusive, so they can't give it.
Christoph,
Yeah.
we have no conclusive grounding. Stick with your on-field decision.
Held up. Hold on.
He thinks he got it down.
Bracken clearly livid. Sale putting bodies on the line.
Time back on, please.
Saracens denied, just albeit in a different fashion as Quirk was on the other
Obviously
end.
talked about that.
Just make sure the physio's all right.
The tackle on Bracken there, but from Rafi Quirk. But that man there saved a certain try, because if the hands come free from his tackle, Burke can reach out and score. But his hand wraps around the ball and holds it into Burke's chest,
Okay, time back on,
and that's
please.
the difference. And backed up with some really good work on the line by Rafi Quirk. Just watch, half break. He thinks he's got free. If he gets that arm free, he has to have a second grab at it. I think he can get the leg drive and get the ball down.
Daly, there's a real urgency about Saracens now into the final 8.5 minutes or so, and they're not even within losing bonus point territory at the moment. Sale will be after that extra try, that fourth try that will give them 5 points from tonight.
Yeah, Daly wants it over the top here. It's not where he wants it though.
Yeah, he wanted that a good deal wider. That may have gone forwards from McFarland. And Sharks recover it, but there'll be a Sale put into the scrum. It's not quite there, is it? But they've been rocked off their game this evening.
No? All good.
Let's go, boys. Keep the pressure on.
Extraordinary numbers from
Let's go, lads.
Mark
Here's your
McCall.
mark.
304th Premiership match tonight. And as we were mentioning, never failed to reach the playoffs under him when they've been able to, i.e. not in the relegation year and not in the Championship year. Up against a man with whom he spent so many years, Alex Sanderson, 17 years in total as a Saracen.
Going
for the penalty.
Big old shove. Another big set-piece win for the men in blue.
Well, you see, McIlroy, McIntyre, Pincer in, work together. Beaton having a hard job on that tight head side.
Ford goes as long as he can. Daly thinks about trying to keep it in field. 25 points to 7. 7 minutes remaining, and this is a win if it stayed as it is. That would lift Sale into second in behind Bath into that home playoff semi-final space with 3 more matches remaining. On this evidence, and of the evidence of the last couple of weeks, they look the most likely challengers to Bath. Disruption in the line-out. Dan has it for Sarries.
Zeke has been in such good form at the line-out over the last few weeks. Player of the match last week.
Robot plucks it out of the sky. Quirk to Ford. And Dupree. Muscled back by Ollie Hartley. Sharks want that bonus point score. O'Flaherty accelerates into Tompkins. Dan Dupree. Quirk recognising that there weren't too many bodies to his right. Here's O'Flaherty. Mildred John, dealt with by Maui. Ford, look at that inside ball to Reed. Instead it wound up with
Quirk intercepted it. Reed was through the gap.
It's just overcooked it. Out on the full.
It's that same step, isn't it, from Ford?
It's the same, yeah, step back, get back to the guard. He does exactly that. He's trying to hit Reed. Reed actually might have a one-on-one tackle. Tompkins, difficult tackle for him.
It would have been interesting. 5 minutes to play. Farland again. Feeds it out to Bracken, and it's forwards from Tompkins. Sharks will have to put into the scrum. Sarries look cooked at this point.
Let's go, boss.
Just been a little too fluctuating in their form. It's not done for them yet. Newcastle at home, Saints away, Bath at home, a Bath side that will be more than secure by that stage.
Just wonder whether some of that leadership to Sale now. We say, right, plan. 4 minutes to go. Win the scrum penalty here. Kick to the corner. What's the 100% from the... Obviously, you've got to do the job at the scrum first. But these are the moments that set you apart as champion teams, is can you take those opportunities when you've only got one shot at it? We'll learn a lot about Sale here. First job, can McIntyre win them a penalty?
Let's go, Ronnie, let's go. Set. Let's go, amigo, let's go.
Yes.
Yeah, there it is, the outstretched arm of Christoph Ridley.
Straight across the scrum.
And a chance to pump this into the corner and really go at them.
Next job, how good can Ford's kick be to get them as close as possible? Choosing his favoured side.
It's there or thereabouts.
Probably just outside complete driving range, but could certainly get them within range for one last attack. Problem now is that strength of the Saracens' defence. Being that far out, they're more likely to compete with Ezekwe, Anitoji, and perhaps McFarland as well.
Can they nail down all 5 points here tonight? Van Rijn to Quirk, has to gather that one-handed. Little dab forwards from George Ford, delicate and swept up gratefully by Onyama Christie.
Yes, well read that. It was a little bit telegraphed, the kick, but I think it actually slowed them down because Quirk had to stop on the pass and turn and drop it off his right hand behind his back.
Small in goal as well, isn't it, here? Not a great deal of room to work with. Curry tries to fling that over the top. That was forwards, and Saracens can recover. 2 minutes to play. And running from deep. And then dispossessed.
This is another leadership thing. Can Saracens get themselves a bonus point? Probably not. So don't do anything risky, because you don't want to gift one of your competitors in the league an opportunity of getting another point ahead of you. So Saracens really should shut up shop here and not play any rugby and see out the clock. It's very difficult to do that when you're on the back of a hiding.
Yeah. Time for your player of the match, Austin.
Well, I think there has to be. Bevan Rodd's had a fantastic game. I thought he did wonders around the field. Turnovers, like you're saying, Ben, the drop of the tackle height. Curry's always 100%, and again he was tonight. There's been some other standout performances. George Ford, exceptional as you'd expect. That little inside show and go created that first try. And I think on the losing side as well, Willis has to take a mention. His carrying ability, his meters, knocking off people. You know, if it had been a close game, he probably would have won it. But I think for a moment of sheer brilliance, we have to give it to Aaron Reid. That try was truly sensational, and that's why he's our Gallagher player of the match. Here it is, in, out. You don't quite see, actually. Elliot Daly comes forward towards him, makes the tackle more difficult for himself, and he sees him just in time and swerves outside. Great try.
The screamer. Onyama Christie for Saracens. Final minute of the contest. As Ben was mentioning, one little slip up here, one loose pass. Sale could nip in for their fourth, which they thought they had, of course, with the Quirk score. An error from Christoph Ridley.
Use it, 9.
Very understandable. And a speedy apology, of course. You just can't get everything right. Here's McFarland. Maui. And once again, that blue wall goes to work. They've been exceptional defensively. Keeping Saracens to just that one try from Angus Hall after 32 minutes. And again, the kind of defensive display, a bit like that effort at Ashton Gate where they kept Bristol to nil, free-flowing Bristol to nil at home. Those are the sort of indicators of a championship contending side. Out it goes on the full. That feels like a big one for Alex Sanderson's men. 4 wins from their last 4, finding a rich vein of form as we head towards the playoffs. They're up into second. Sarri's not done yet, but a Sharks-sized spanner in their works this evening. Tries from Maasi White, from Ford and from Reid. And they've got it done here against big playoff challengers. Full-time, Sale 25, Saracens 7.